Hi everyone, so I'm really delighted that you are here today. So this is the second of the six-step program, and this is the art of creating recipes for your dog. So it's important because we want to reduce our impact on the planet, and also how can we supplement our food and with traditional plant-based food for our four-legged companions. They're sort of fun and easy recipes, and I'm only going to begin with an introduction to one of those. So, also, we can't forget that when we create something for our four-legged companions, it really increases our bond with them, and we know that the impact of this is it reduces our stress and really helps us, particularly in this sort of time of COVID-19, to be able to be more conscious, more mindful, and more present with our four-legged beings. And the impact of that is that we're less stressed. So, in the last first step, it was the art of being with your dog, and I showed you an important yoga practice called Anuloma Viloma, which is really, really important, and it's actually part of my yoga practice and on a daily basis. So I've been cooking. So in this, the second step, we're going to be looking at recipes. Now I've been cooking with Bono for goodness, at least the last 10 years on a plant-based diet, and he's doing great. He's 12 years old, and he's had a blood test, and it's absolutely no problem at all. It's got a very, very good and high blood count, and everything is functioning normally. So it's important for me, and as I said in my last video, it's important for me that I can't separate the love that I have for Bono and then feed him another sentient being. It wouldn't make sense to me, and more importantly, I'd feel completely out of integrity. And also, as a yogi, is part of being conscious and putting and being mindful of my actions on a daily basis. And more importantly, Bono's very, very clear about what he likes and doesn't like. That's not to say, like a typical child, that he necessarily knows what's good for him, but he's very clear on the things that he likes, and he's very, very happy with the plant-based diet. So, contrary to popular belief, dogs can be vegan, and certainly with my heritage, which is, my parents were Indian, dogs predominantly in India are vegetarian, and they survive. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily flourish, and that's because there are other things that we need to look at, sort of vitamins and supplements, etc. So I'm mindful of that when I'm feeding him, is to have a really varied diet and make sure that I ensure that I don't feed Bono anything that is considered as toxic for him. So it's really important that you make yourself aware of what dogs can and cannot eat. So, for instance, we know that they can't eat raisins, grapes because of the toxicity and potential for kidney damage, garlics, onions, chocolate, apples, the seeds and the cores. You have to be very careful that when you make any smoothies, you don't put the whole apple in, that you just cut out the core and the seeds. Sweets and candies, absolutely avoid. I use the word candy as in sort of the American word. Avocados in moderation, so I don't really try and supplement avocado in his diet. Also, oranges, I avoid that in his diet, and tomatoes as well. So it's yes to bananas, asparagus, blueberries. I've given him little chunks of vegan cheese as treats, peanut butter, but make sure it doesn't contain xylitol. Bread is a little treat, so I don't overdo it. Broccoli, spinach, celery, pineapples as treats. He loves pineapples. Carrots, loves carrots. And popcorn is something that really you have to be very, very careful about. You don't give them too much. So I give, again, it's as a treat. Mushy peas, adores it. Potatoes, he adores. Rice in moderation. It's a treat for him. Watermelons, quinoa, and cucumber. He loves all of that. So I've created a smoothie, particularly for this hot weather, and it's something that Bono loves a lot. And what I do is I use the ice cube container. So once I've blended the smoothie, I just pour it into that and freeze it. So grab a pen and pencil, pause this video. Okay, good to have you back. So for this, you're going to need 1 banana, 3 small heads of broccoli, an apple, and a few splashes of soya milk and a third cup of water. So literally put all of those ingredients into the blender, blend it on fast. I call it the Bubba smoothie because my little Bono is always known as Baba. It comes after my love and my granddad. I used to call him Baba. It also means wise man, and he's very, very precious. So it's called the Baba smoothie. So we put those into the containers, we freeze them, and then what I do is I will, to save my carpet, when we're outside, I'll give him that treat and he'll play around with it in the grass or he'll crunch at it, he'll do whatever, and he really enjoys that. So that's a delicious smoothie. Now for the meal, I have something called a Bono's Bono's plate, and I cook this for him, but more importantly, I use that to cook for myself as well. So what I do is I'll have some ready-made rice that I would have cooked, and Bono has the same. I don't use any sort of spices in that. I like my food quite natural, and then cooked lentils. You can choose the lentils that you like, and usually the red lentils, even aduki beans, etc. And so what I'll do is I'll get some celery. Forgive me, I should have. So what you'll need for this, so grab a pen and paper, is some ready prepared rice, some ready prepared lentils, 2 stalks of celery, finely chop those. Get yourself a washed handful of spinach and a quarter cucumber chopped once you've washed it. So with the celery, I want you to fry that in a little bit of oil. When it's just turning brown, you can add the lentils. Now sometimes I know that we can be a little rushed and I use canned aduki or lentils, and that's absolutely fine. So you put the lentils with the celery and you fry that for a little bit. Just as it's beginning to boil, I add my washed spinach and just sort of circulate that. I don't like to cook it for too long, and that's perfect. You can switch the the gas or the electric off, and you can leave it to just sort of rest. And what I then do is I get Bono's bowl, and I'll put his rice, and I'll put the lentils, and then I'll put the chopped cucumber, very finely chopped cucumber because he likes it small. And then I'll use some nutritional yeast, which if you have is an absolute treat. I just sprinkle some of that, and just to add a little bit more flavour, I'll put a little spoon of hummus, and that's a delight for him, and similarly for myself. So that's a delicious smoothie and recipe to really enjoy. Now you can follow me on at Ruby Sandu 10step on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter at Ruby the Vegan, and also on Instagram at Ruby the Vegan. Delighted to have you here, and do give me your feedback. Love to see you in the video 3, step 3. Thank you.